Tonight, local lawmakers are reacting to a Texas abortion law that's creating controversy across the U.S. Plus, Senator Tammy Baldwin is in northwest Wisconsin, where communities are facing a first responder shortage. And later, as we near the 20th anniversary of the 9/11 attacks, the Ashland community is getting ready to honor the lives lost that day in a big way.
From CBS 3 Duluth, this is the CBS 3 News at 6.
Good evening, I'm Kristen Bakke. Thanks for joining us. The nation's newest, most restrictive abortion law is getting attention across the country. Just yesterday, the U.S. Supreme Court denied efforts to stop a Texas law banning women from getting an abortion after 6 weeks of pregnancy. There are no exemptions for rape, incest, or health of the mother. CBS 3's Abigail Smith spoke with those on both sides about the status of reproductive laws in Minnesota.
These are deeply personal decisions that people make about whether and when to become a parent, about their reproductive health. And I don't think anybody wants politicians making decisions for people.
That's a big reason why Minnesota State Senator Jennifer McEwen, ADFLer, representing the Duluth area, has authored what she calls the PRO Act. It stands for Protecting Reproductive Rights. McEwen's bill would allow Minnesotans to make decisions about the reproductive health care, including contraception, abortion, and pregnancy. It also makes personal reproductive health decisions private.
The vision is that we respect individuals' healthcare decisions and we protect those decisions from interference by politicians that would impose their values and their ethics on that personal decision.
We reached out to several of the Northland's GOP lawmakers about McEwen's bill. Republican Senator Justin Eichhorn denied our request for an interview. In a statement, he said abortion laws are unlikely to change in Minnesota due to the divided legislature. Some, like Scott Fishbach with Minnesota Citizens Concern for Life, continues to push for change. He hopes Minnesota will take similar steps to Texas.
Ideally, we want to see protection for unborn children restored in Minnesota. We want to see that unborn children are respected and welcomed in life.
McEwen introduced the PRO Act at the state capitol in February. Lawmakers could consider it in the next session. Right now, anyone in Minnesota considering abortion must go through counseling and a 24-hour waiting period. In Wisconsin, Governor Tony Evers tweeted about the Texas abortion ban. The Democrat said he trusts women to make decisions about their bodies and their health care. Republicans control both chambers in the state legislature. If they passed a similar law, it's likely Evers would veto it. Meanwhile, in Michigan, Governor Gretchen Whitmer is also speaking out. She called the Texas law a gross infringement on reproductive rights and freedoms. Whitmer says she has always supported the right to choose and will stand in the way of any bills that try to take rights from women or stop doctors from doing their jobs. Hermantown school leaders updated their COVID safety guidelines today. Elementary students and teachers will be required to wear masks in common areas, like in the hallway or waiting for the bus. But it will be up to the students if they want to wear masks when in their classrooms. Masks will be recommended for 7th through 12th graders. That could change if 3% of people in a building test positive within 2 weeks. Superintendent Wayne Whitmore says he wants learning to be effective, but also safe and reasonable.
There can be a lot of learning loss with masks on, where I think, you're teaching kids, especially at the elementary, you're teaching letter sounds and everything else. It's challenging to do with a mask.
92% of Hermantown teachers are vaccinated. Whitwam says that's part of the reason behind looser guidelines for middle and high school students. You can find a full breakdown of Hermantown's protocols on our website. 9 out of 10 people on the University of Wisconsin-Madison campus are fully vaccinated for COVID-19. That data released today includes faculty, staff, and students. Chancellor Rebecca Blank says the numbers are impressive and that the data puts the university far ahead of the statewide average. University of Wisconsin Superior leaders say they're still collecting this data. Their semester starts next Wednesday. As of yesterday, about 62% of Wisconsin adults were fully vaccinated. Dave joins us now for a first check of the weather. Dave, I have to get used to these cooler temperatures that we've been seeing.
Yeah, they have taken us down a little bit here, especially today, and could continue that way for the week ahead. Let's eye up the high temps we did receive, keeping in mind that the normal is around 72, 73, or International Falls pretty close to normal. Ashland a little warmer than normal, and Ironwood was there as well. Same deal for Watersmead. Otherwise, the rest of the towns were just a little bit cooler than normal, but it's not so bad. It's not like it's 30 below. It's all right. It's the end of summer with autumn staring us in the face. And also staring us in the face now is that pair of low pressure systems we've been talking about for days. It's in the middle parts of Minnesota at this moment, and it's slated to bring us a pretty decent rain chance tonight through Saturday. Drier conditions likely return on Sunday. So our short-term forecast says 80% rain chance tonight, 60% rain chance tomorrow, maybe a 30% shot on Saturday. Then the latter half of Labor Day weekend should come up sunny. Could be a perfect balance. We'll show you that balance and the scale of the 7-day forecast in a few more minutes.
Thanks, Dave. Duluth Superior's Pride Fest kicks off tonight. Here's a live look at the mayor's opening reception happening right now at the Duluth Depot. Local leaders and community members are gathering to celebrate the LGBTQ+ pride and acceptance within the Northland. There's a weekend full of events planned, including a big celebration happening at Bayfront all day Saturday. We have a full list of events on our website, cbs3duluth.com. An update tonight to a story we first brought you last October. That's when we first told you about the struggle many rural communities in northwest Wisconsin were facing when it came to finding ambulance services. This ongoing problem has now gotten the attention of Wisconsin's federal lawmakers, including Senator Tammy Baldwin, who visited a few communities today to see the need firsthand. CBS 3's Natalie Grant joins us live from Mellon, Wisconsin, where Senator Baldwin stopped today. Natalie, what did she have to say?
Well, Kristen, this issue dates back to August of 2020 when Great Divide Ambulance Services said that they would no longer be able to service some smaller rural Wisconsin townships. They said that they just didn't have the staff or the resources to make it happen. That includes like communities like Mellon, where we're at right now. Now, since this divide happened at the beginning of the year, small communities have really had to step up in order to fill this gap. At today's roundtable, several rural committees came together to share their stories with Baldwin. Of the around 7 townships left without an ambulance service at the beginning of the year, 3 have had a hard time finding a new provider. These communities have had to rely on other towns to respond to their emergency calls, but so far they say no patients have been left without care. Many of the issues finding a new provider have come down to a lack of funding and no interest in a volunteer EMS program, leaving those picking up the pieces overworked and stretched thin. Senator Baldwin says that she was shocked to hear of these coverage gaps in Wisconsin and wants to do what she can to help communities feel safe.
We've got to figure out a way to create greater incentive and greater support for those who work full-time and volunteer on top of that, so that they can have more robust departments that are really serving the community.
Now, Senator Baldwin says that she's hoping to find more funding for rural townships to get updated and new equipment for their community. And coming up tonight at 10, we're going to hear from those local resources that have really stepped up and the struggles that they're facing to find EMS recruits. But for now, Kristen, I'll send things back to you.
Natalie Grant reporting live for us tonight. Thank you, Natalie. Back in Minnesota, more Greenwood fire evacuations are being lifted as conditions improve and containment grows. The Lake County Sheriff announced this evening evacuated areas along County Highway 2 will reopen at 8 o'clock tomorrow morning. That includes Greenwood and Sand Lakes. However, only residents will be allowed in an effort to limit traffic for fire crew safety. Also, a new team took over the Greenwood firefight today. An incident command team from the Northern Rockies will now lead the way, allowing the previous team to take its required break. 493 people are working the fire this evening. The Greenwood fire has grown slightly this week to 26,068 acres, and it is still 37% contained. Well, restrictions have been lifted around much of the Superior National Forest. Many restrictions were in place due to wildfires burning in the area. Today, forest officials lifted bans for non-developed campgrounds, meaning campsites that aren't designated as such. Heavy equipment work can also resume. That will allow certain land management activities to continue. Forest officials still ask you to be careful when out in the forest. A fire ban remains in place. As we look ahead to the Boundary Waters reopening Saturday, there's been no growth in either fire burning there. The John Eck fire is 1,300 acres and 0% contained. Today, crews were setting up sprinkler systems in the area and trying to protect structures along the Gunflint Trail. The Whelp fire is 50 acres and also not contained yet. Both were started by lightning. The Twin Ports is hosting an event aimed at keeping our waterways clean. Duluth Mayor Emily Larson and Superior Mayor Jim Payne are leading the Twin Ports coastal cleanup tomorrow. They'll discuss the importance of keeping pollutants out of rivers and streams that lead into Lake Superior. Each year, volunteers scour yards, sidewalks, and beaches to help pick up items like food wrappers, plastic bottles, and cigarette butts. This year, 5th grade students at Lake Superior Elementary will be cleaning up the Arrowhead boat launch area in Superior. If you'd like to schedule a cleanup event, you can find more details at cbs3duluth.com. Still to come on Live Local CBS 3, it has been nearly 20 years since the 9/11 terrorist attacks. We'll show you how Northlanders plan to remember the fallen as we head to Ashland after the break.
Clouds have gone up and today's temperatures have come down. The normal is 72. Duluth Airport high only 66 today. From the clouds up aloft, there is a chance for rain next couple of days. We'll talk about how much and for how long. Latest theories on that right after our break.
Duluth Casino wants to celebrate your birthday with you all month long. Every day during your birthday month, you can receive up to $30 in club cash as a special birthday bonus.
Did you say every day?
Yes, every day of your birthday month. Stop by the Players Club or log on to FondDuluthCasino.com for all the participation details. We're celebrating your birthday all month long, so you can
have a great time out at Fond du Loup.
Welcome to Medical Insight, a weekly healthcare feature brought to you by the experts at Essentia Health. Here's your host, Louis St. George.
Today in Medical Insight, Essentia Health orthopedic surgeon Bill Uffman explains hip arthroscopy, which is meant to treat labral and cartilage injuries in people typically under the age of 40 and without any signs of arthritis.
With a hip arthroscopy, we're able to get in the joint, look around, kind of assess the level of damage, fix a labral tear. Sometimes we have to reconstruct the labrum because it is very damaged and not fixable. They have extra bone sitting kind of in the front of their hip that when they flex their hip up, kind of bangs against their hip socket. Those people are at a much higher predisposition to develop hip arthritis later on in life.
And Dr. Uffman says it's not always clear why these injuries occur. They could be the result of a very active lifestyle as youngsters. Regardless, they are painful.
But sometimes it gets to the point where you can't sit, long car rides, you can't put your shoes and socks on, or you can't walk without pain. And that's kind of when people sort of typically come to see me. So by going in and addressing that before it kind of that horse leaves the barn, going in there and trying to kind of prevent any further damage at typically a younger age, we think that it's kind of a hip sparing procedure.
Following hip arthroscopy, patients can expect to be back full bore within 6 to 8 months. For Medical Insight, I'm Louis St. George.
To learn more about this and other health topics, visit essentiahealth.org/medicalinsight.
Jane Tennant, Special Agent in Charge, NCIS Hawaii.
You'd think I'd be past needing a caffeine fix by now.
As long as we have kids, we're never going to be past needing a caffeine fix.
When anyone on my team gets in trouble, I'm the first call.
Federal agent!
So you haven't had the pleasure of my "we work as a team" speech, but you can guess the bullet points.
CBS 3 News is brought to you by Fond du Louth Casino. CBS 3 Weather is brought to you by Lake Superior College. Now, the CBS 3 Duluth WeatherMax forecast with meteorologist Dave Anderson.
Rain is coming our way, but boy, it's taking its sweet time. This live look is downtown Brainerd, where they're getting the rain there, though much of our area, just a little bit farther to the east, isn't seeing anything yet except clouds up above. But it's a good sign. You know, it's been so dry. Last week busted up the drought a little bit. A little follow-up here over the next couple of days could sure help and send September towards the correct stats. You know, we're 2 days in and we're already a quarter inch shy for rain. So hopefully the rain we get through Saturday evening could give us a little bit of a surplus for a change. We'll talk about that, of course, after these current conditions. They're coming from the airport in Duluth, and it's 62 degrees there right now. 78% is the relative humidity. The wind is easterly, southeasterly, 7 miles per hour. Air pressure still a little high, all right, at 30.10 inches of mercury. But again, as those lows keep working through the area, barometer readings will tumble at least until Saturday evening. Then they should start to increase for the second half of Labor Day weekend. Current temps, 67 straight up from Ironwood down the road to Watersmeet. Northern Wisconsin is running 62 in Superior to 68 degrees in Ashland. And our friends in Minnesota go from 61 up the Gunflint Trail to 69 degrees near International Falls. For the trend for temperatures for the week ahead, I think we will be just a little bit under the normal of 72 or so. Just a little, though, not drastically, so I think it'll be quite tolerable. Right now, the Doppler shows the rain showers over towards the Brainerd area, indeed, slowly advancing from west to east. And there's an 80% chance your Minnesota town will get some here tonight before midnight. Then there's a 50% chance it'll follow suit through Wisconsin and into Michigan after midnight, of course. And here's a look at those two low-pressure systems we've been watching for a couple of days. Since they're moving fairly slowly, it'll take Friday and Saturday as well for all of the rain chance to work through the area. And then, like I mentioned, come Sunday and Monday for Labor Day weekend here, high pressure brings back the sunshine. So how much rain could we get then from these two lows here by the time we wrap things up Saturday evening? In general, I think the range could go from about a quarter inch in International Falls to around 3/4 of an inch here in the Twin Ports and everybody else in between. So not a huge soaker, as I've been saying, like last weekend, but it sure is better than watching a Dust Bowl form. Here tonight, Minnesota-wise, 80% rain chance with those lows. Low 50s inland, upper 50s by the lake. Wisconsin, Michigan, low to mid 50s for the low temps with a 50% chance for rain, especially after midnight. Then it becomes a 60% chance for rain on Friday. High temps in the upper 60s. Minnesotans get a 60% rain chance as well. Low 60s by the lake and mid to upper 60s, maybe even 70 farther inland. Extended forecast shows we do fall to a 30% rain chance Saturday. And then by Sunday, Monday for the second part of the weekend and the holiday, it clears up and warms up at least a hair.
All right, thanks, Dave. Next week will mark 20 years since the most deadly terror attack on U.S. soil. As the country prepares to honor the lives lost in that attack, one Northland community is planning to commemorate the victims in a big way. CBS 3's Quinn Gorham gives us a look inside Ashland's plans.
When you see a park like this, you may think of fun events and lively music. But in just a few days, this park will be home to a much more solemn event as veterans, first responders, and the public join together to honor the 20th anniversary of the 9/11 attacks. The ceremony will take place the morning of the 11th and will feature several speakers. A bell will ring out at the times that each of the four planes crashed, followed by 30 seconds of silence in remembrance of the lives lost. The United Chequamegon Veterans is putting on the event alongside several of Ashland's other veterans organizations and first responders. Keith Twite has helped organize the event. He was the Ashland fire chief on the day of the 9/11 attacks and says it's important to continue to remember what happened on that day.
We feel that we need to keep the community looking forward but remembering our past, and that includes this anniversary of 9/11.
Twite says there will also be a static display of emergency response equipment and vehicles on Highway 2 the day of the ceremony. Guests are being asked to arrive by 7:15 the morning of the 11th and to bring their own lawn chairs in case seating gets full.
Thank you, Quinn. Ashland's 9/11 ceremony is expected to last around 2 hours and will end with a 21-gun salute and a playing of taps. You can find more details about the event on our website. Kelly joins us now for a look at what's coming up in sports. Hey, Kelly.
Thursday night football. Minnesota high school football begins tonight, as does UMD. and Gopher football. We'll have previews of both coming up next in sports.
Order your 2021 Polaris side-by-side now from Duluth Lawn and Sports.
CBS 3 Live Cams, brought to you by KohlerChef.com, now featuring the Kohler Express Deal online buying solution. KohlerChef.com, a better way to buy.
During the Labor Day sale at Home Furniture, everything's on sale. Save up to 30% on all living room, dining, and bedroom. Get free no-contact shipping plus 3-year special financing with no money down, no minimum purchase. The Labor Day sale, now at Home Furniture.
What's so extreme about the DQ Reese's Extreme Blizzard? How about all the Reese's you could dream of with classic creamy Reese's peanut butter cups and crunchy Reese's Pieces? Plus, you guessed it, peanut butter topping and chocolatey topping. All blended in world-famous DQ soft serve for a treat that takes your favorite combo to a whole new level. Wow, what a rush. Get it delivered at DQ.com.
With locations throughout the Northland and northern Wisconsin, Super One Liquor has you covered for all of your party and gathering needs. We have a commitment to deliver outstanding service, variety, and top quality wines and spirits. And don't forget the best variety of ice-cold beer and beverages, all at the low prices you've come to expect. Super One Liquor. Come for the service, leave with the savings.
Do you have a family history of heart attacks? Are you a heart attack survivor? If you answered yes to one or both of these questions, then this message may save your life. No magic pills or potions, just pure science and early detection. If heart attacks run in your family, or if you're a heart attack survivor, you're more likely to develop a second one due to your unique genetic makeup. That's why you need an easy-to-use heart attack genetic test kit. The absolute truth of it is, this genetic test kit may save your life. Call right now to get your test kit mailed directly to your home. If you're on Medicare, you can have this test done at little to no cost. Call now to qualify in minutes. With early detection, you can take action to help prevent suffering from a heart attack. Call the Heart Attack Screening Helpline at 800-299-9598. That's 800-299-9598. Because there's so much more life left ahead of you.
Lake Superior College is nationally recognized for quality and affordability, offering over 90 programs, including career, technical, and general studies for transfer. At LSC, you can start here, save thousands. Apply for free at lsc.edu.
It's patio closeout time during the Labor Day sale at Home Seasonal Concepts. Get up to 30% off outdoor living like this 4-piece wicker patio set for just $997, plus free shipping. Labor Day patio closeouts now at Home Seasonal Concepts.
After a near 2-year layover, the Bulldogs finally take flight to Fayette, Iowa for Game 1 of NSIC play with the Peacocks. With an all-time 7-1 record stacked up against Upper Iowa, the Bulldogs are indeed the favorites tonight. However, in 2019, the Peacocks earned their first win over UMD in program history after the Bulldogs turned the ball over 6 times. UMD is currently the 23rd ranked team in the country according to the AFCA. Kickoff was just a few minutes ago. We will have highlights from the Bulldogs tonight at 10. Row the boat, Ski-U-Ma, whatever you want to cry. The Gophers are back tonight under the lights. For the first time since last November, Minnesota gets to face a Big Ten opponent, and their first matchup is no cakewalk. Ohio State comes to town. Minnesota is led by redshirt senior quarterback Tanner Morgan. Morgan started all 7 games for Minnesota last year and is confident in the experienced roster they bring back this year.
Obviously, we know it's a huge competition against a very talented team. It's an elite opportunity for us, but our guys are really excited. You can look at our roster or the guys 6th year, 5th year, and even 7th year, guys who have been here a long time, who have been through the muck, and obviously we all went through some dirty water last year too. Our team is experienced. We have guys who have been here since 2017, the dig, year 0. And I think those guys have done an elite job of educating our younger guys.
Kickoff is tonight at 7 p.m. We'll have highlights from that game at 10 as well. And more football. Duluth East is opening their season against Hibbing in Minnesota high school football. They're just underway. And Rock Ridge has their first ever game as a program, hosting Northwoods. Highlights are coming up tonight at 10. The Brewers have continued to make statements to the rest of the National League that they're here to contend. Last night's win clinched a huge series win over the Giants, but also clinched a winning season with 28 games left on their schedule. The Milwaukee Brewers wrapped up their series with the Giants this afternoon out in San Francisco, trailing 1-0 in the fourth. Jace Peterson sends a single into center. Luis Urias comes around to score, and Christian Yelich gets caught in no man's land on the play. So after a rundown, he's out to end the inning. But the damage was done, and we're tied. Stayed that way until the 8th. Craig Counsell brought in his usual man, Devin Williams, who had an unusually rough outing, giving up his first earned run since June 23rd. He'd previously been scoreless in 22 straight outings. And after losing 3 in a row, the Giants finally got their revenge. Thero Estrada adds a 3-run home run to seal it, and Milwaukee falls 5-1 at the final. And the Vikings have a new punter in town, and his name is not Britton Colquitt. The team has signed veteran punter Jordan Berry to the roster. The 30-year-old is joining Minnesota after spending the previous 6 seasons with the Pittsburgh Steelers. Berry has appeared in 91 regular season games with a career average of 44.4 yards per punt. Colquitt averaged 45.1 yards per punt in 32 games this season with Minnesota. But tonight is all about college football and high school football. Yeah. And then we got Red Zone Live tomorrow night.
More
it's that
football.
Time of year.
It is. It's exciting.
Football, yeah.
All right. Thanks, Kelly. Thousands of people are expected to head to Finlayson this weekend for a popular annual event. The 28th annual Howie's Mud Bog kicks off tomorrow. The 3-day event features racing, mud bogging, camping, and live music. 5,000 people are expected to attend, and organizers say there is something for everyone to enjoy. Dave, how's the weather going to hold up for that? Because it looks like a lot of fun.
Yeah, if we get any rain, that'll help, of course, the bog get thicker and put more of a challenge on the trucks. Could be a pretty good deal there. Yeah, we're looking at some rain beginning in just a couple of hours here for our area and sticking around through the weekend. Tonight, it's an 80% chance for Minnesotans and a 50% shot for Wisconsin and the UP. We settle on 60% for everybody on Friday, then wind down to a 30% shot on Saturday. Then it will start to clear up and warm up for Sunday and Monday. How much rain? I'm thinking about 1/4 to 3/4 of an inch spread out across the region.
All right, we could sure use it. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you at 10.